Peace, love, blessings to all. Just want to do something different opening this vlog. Hope everybody's having a great day. Another day to be grateful, happy, excited, loving, caring, compassionate, you know, thoughtful of your ideas and the way you feel. Okay, this is just a random blog, as most of my blogs are, personal. Okay, have a few questions and I'm going to answer them. What do I have going on? Well, I have a few things going on. I'm actually in talks with a few employers about possible management in retail. It's something that experience-wise I've always done the tenure of my working career. So that's kind of just, you know, what I'm going to do to make money per se. We all have to work for a living, or at least, I like something flew in my mouth, but at least, provide for ourselves. Someone asked me recently what was my drive or my passion, and I have a lot of interests. So I would say my passion is really life. You know, there's so many things that fall under that. I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about entertainment. I'm passionate about business. I'm intrigued by a lot of things also. I'm intrigued by nature, space, planets, the stars, science, biology. Um, in ways I have like nerd-like tendencies, I would say, but I would say I'd be a hip nerd. I wouldn't say I'd be like some lame or something like that. But that's still, one of those perspective things. Somebody could look at me and be like, hey, he's lame, or so I try not to get caught up in those titles of, you know, or labels that we give people, but, you know, just saying some terms that people would identify with when they look at these, aspects of life, or as, people that are into computers. I'm not talking about smartphones now. I'm talking about desktops, laptops, stuff that isn't necessarily social media driven. So I have a lot of passions. Music is one of my big passions, though. Um, I got to shout out my good friend. Um, you can find him on Instagram, um, H double, I think 37. He also goes by Huff the Author. He's a great producer, composer, writer. I mean, he does it all. I mean, this is a guy, a childhood friend of mine. He has his own record label. He's not going with the traditional sense of how people go about doing music, but he's actually having success in what he's doing, and he's a very intelligent guy. And I just want to shout him out because, you know, in time, they may not know him by his music, but they will probably know him by his associations, through different, you know, artists. He's just recently inked a deal with a commercial, um, well, I'm not sure. It's actually like having music in a commercial, like how with film you have a music score. Um, he does voiceovers for commercials. I mean, he's a very talented guy, and you know, he inspires me to do me, because he's doing him. So, I just want to shout him out. What do I do in my spare time? I don't really acknowledge spare time like how most people would, like in a working, you know, concept of a 9 to 5 and stuff like that. I would say my spare time would be more or less, spending it with my daughter. You know, um, I enjoy spending time with my parents, my grandmother, of course. My grandmother, she gives me a lot of insight, a lot of knowledge, but I do understand that, things are her perspective. Like, we're in ever-changing times, and, she's 86 years old, so she has a lot of experiences. A lot of the things that we see as, maybe our reality, there was specific points in her life that, um, these weren't, like her reality, her perspective. You know, times have changed. You know, she's the type, age-wise, that she remembers going in the back door of places. She remembers segregation and the integration of schools. You know, and you know, my family has a lot of history in that, as most um, African Americans or Black people in the United States, you know, have. You know, a lot of it's lost history. Some of it's passed down through word of mouth. A lot of it is documented. So, you know, it's just it's just life, I guess. Um, what would I change about myself? Um, at this point, I would say that what I look to do is to kind of step outside the box, not stay in my comfort zone. Those are things that I look to do. So I would say that I'm actually in a point of changing. You know, as you get older, you can mature, but your experiences and I believe your intentions are what can help you go through becoming mature or maintaining a certain level of maturity. So, um, what advice would you give to people? Well, I'm an encourager. So the advice I give to most people is to do their best. You know, I try to get a little insight into their character, you know, their ideas, you know, the things that they want to be able to achieve in life. And that I would say I promote positivity. Um, I try to be helpful or knowledgeable if there's a certain aspect of an interest that I can shed light on. And a lot of times you don't really have to know a lot about different interests. You just have to more or less listen to the person and try to encourage them or try to examine the information that they're giving you so that that way you can kind of give your perspective. And in giving your perspective, it gives them a different set of eyes to look at things. So that's what I see myself as being, an encourager. I get discouraged just like everybody does, but I try not to throw that type of feel off on people. I'm human, I do make mistakes, and I'm not always right. I don't believe that I'm higher than people or anything like that. I just try to be better than I was yesterday. I mean, that's all I can do. I'm the type that I can forgive and forget, you know, but I can also just, if I feel like, this person is that way and I'm this way, then, you go your way and I'll go mine. It's no resentment or hard feelings. It's just more or less, I'm not trying to collide with anybody. I'm not trying to change anybody. If a person comes to you and they want your influence in that, you can create the change, but it's still a gradual process. It still takes time for that person to necessarily mold themselves or grow into whatever, ideas or beliefs or experiences that they have. We all have to walk a certain walk, talk a certain talk, and that's where maturity, experience, wisdom, and how you apply the knowledge, in your life to become the change you want to be. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. How do you prepare for endeavors? Well, normally what I do is, once I agree to something, you know, I kind of write things down. I think them out completely, and I go about trying to, if it's something that's time sensitive, I try to conform to the time format. If it's a job, then you know that you don't decide the hours. You agree to whatever set hours there are, and you pretty much go from there. So, preparing for endeavors, I just, if it's something that someone brings to me, then I look for, when is the beginning, or when can we start about this process. I do have a few things I'm in the works doing, as far as I've been composing or compiling, I should say, poems and some spoken word type stuff. I've actually said a few to friends. I've sent videos to people that I care about and people that I respect and love. So, I do have a lot of different ideas that I'm, kind of expanding on. I was recently contacted through email with this guy that actually he has a production company, and he kind of wants my experience in helping to shoot short films and stuff like that. So that's kind of, you know, what I'm looking to do in the future. You know, it's a gradual process. There's certain time restraints and location. You know, he's kind of out west, as far as the western part of the state, and I'm in the central part of the state, so we're trying to come up with a good time frame where we can all get together. We've had like conference calls and stuff where we've kind of brainstormed what I bring to the table, and they've kind of brainstormed with me with, you know, what they're looking for and the type of people that they want to collaborate with, and you know, have just kind of like scheduling different things to do, you know, as far as in that. So. You know, I'm very optimistic about it. You know, I know that things take time. You know, I've been in talks with this company for probably about a year now. We've had several voice conversations, you know, over the phone where they put me on speaker to talk with, you know, the few guys that are there, and then I've listened to, you know, what they had to offer, what they feel about, you know, the situation as far as what they're trying to do and what they're looking for in people, and you know, I kind of fit an aspect of that mold, you know, so you know, it's something that, you know, only time will tell. You know, some things, you know, even with jobs, I've had things where we got to this point and I was about to get the job and things kind of fell through just because maybe, you know, I didn't fit the mold, or maybe they found somebody that actually was more, you know, or a better candidate in their eye, you know, and that's really a part of life, you know. So when we see entertainers and stuff like that, or athletes, and they say they're free agents, you know, they may have to, you know, kind of negotiate whatever it is, you know, as far as the finances, you know, the, I mean, there's different aspects. There's a whole lot of different aspects. You can kind of, you know, look into that stuff, whatever sports or, you know, entertainment, you know, there is that, you know, there's negotiations that don't always come together. One of the prime ones that come to mind at this time is one with like Tupac, like John Singleton was signed on to do a Tupac movie, and based on the direction of the movie, it wasn't really the script. It was more or less the adjustments to the script. He didn't feel it was true to the movie the way he perceived it to be the director, so he stepped down. And in that, you know, the movie kind of fell apart, and because another director can't just pick up, they may have to just start from scratch. And a lot of things that I've been dealing with people, they've kind of come together at some point, and then they may have fell apart because of things on my end, things on their end. You know, it's various, you know, reasons to why things don't always, you know, come together. So, you know, but it doesn't discourage me. If anything, it just makes me, you know, maybe feel a little like, man, I want it, you know, because my perspective, you know, what I felt about it's like I want to see it grow. I want to, you know, be a part of something. Just like, you know, if you have a passion about something, you want to be a part of it, but it doesn't always work out. Sometimes, you know, it may work out later on in time. So, you know, how do I perceive the future? Okay, tomorrow is the future. Next week is the future. 2 days from now is the future. I perceive the future as, you know, this afternoon or tomorrow morning. You know, passing in time creates the present moment. So we have the past and we have the current time now. The future is everything after this. The future doesn't have to be 10, 20 years from now. So I perceive the future as good, just like every day is good. Every day that we're alive, every day that I'm alive, that I can make choices, can do what I want to do, you know, experience certain things I want to experience, you know, that's the future. So we create our reality, and my reality is that, you know, the future is not the present moment. It's, you can plan for the future, and planning for the future, I can say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna get up at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, whatever. That's my plans for the future. I have long-term and I have short-term goals. The short-term goals, you know, they change sometimes. Just like the long-term goals I could work toward, they can change. So I perceive, you know, things a little bit different from how I feel, you know, to coin that term, to say that, how do you feel about the future, or what do you think about the future? What we do in the present moment decides what type of future that we will have. So, um, what inspires me? There's so many things that inspire me. I can find inspiration in the weirdest place. Sometimes I find it in social media. Believe it or not, when somebody, you know, says that they're about to take up an opportunity doing something, or, they look forward to something, or they're happy about something, or, they cherish something, or themselves, or relationships, or whatever. Those things are inspiring to me. So I get inspired by various things. I get inspired by nature. I get inspired by, my own thoughts, ideas, you know. So there are so many different things that can inspire you, and that's pretty much my inspiration. So hope everybody has a wonderful day. Make the best of each day. Love life to the fullest. Love yourself to the fullest. Accept yourself for who you are. Do the best you can. Be the best you can be. Um, don't be too hard on yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Be happy about yourself. And things will always get better. We have to go through struggles and challenges to be able to, grow into so much more, to show off our true greatness. Just like how a diamond is created under pressure. A diamond isn't just, you know, made like simply like that. It requires pressure. It requires time. You know. So, I want everybody to have a great day, a great week, great weekend. Whenever you're watching this, you know, just enjoy life. And as I would always say, be an encourager. Help people if you can, and if you can't, don't hurt them. Thank you.